Hey, everybody, it's the Fantasy Sports Boss. It is Football Friday. We have made it to Friday, Football Friday, jam-packed NFL Sunday, starting with a true gem of a game, the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to preview all of the games today. Let's go over the final injury report of the day. We learned that Dameon Pierce is out for the Houston Texans, so a bad season has exponentially worse as Pierce was playing horribly before this injury, and now he's going to miss a game. Devin Singletary will start in his place. Some other key injuries that we have to take a look at. And Kyler Murray doesn't look like he's going to play this week, as ridiculous as that might sound, since he's been ready for 2 weeks now. We're going to take a look at all of that. Plus, the Football Friday is really also just for you guys to ask last-minute questions, start, sit stuff. So always put that in the chat. And if you're new to the channel, just hit that subscribe button and the notification button as well. Happy Friday to you, Rain. Yes, Taysom Hill and Mostert are good to go. What's going on, guys? Start Rice over Puka. So the first question, John, yeah, I'm definitely starting Rashee Rice over Puka Nacua. So it doesn't look like – so Matthew Stafford, we'll talk about that right off the bat. Matthew Stafford did not practice again today. He has not practiced at all the entire week. And the point spread reflects the general consensus thinking that Stafford is not going to play. So that means we're going to see Brett Rypien and the challenges that go along with that in terms of the Rams offense. He'll be under center. So easily for me, Rashee Rice over Puka Nacua. We got to kind of ignore Puka's numbers prior to this game because he's not going to have Stafford, right? And his numbers have already taken a dip with Cooper Kupp being back in action, but it's definitely Rashee Rice for me. All Dolphins and Chiefs on deck for this one for sure. It's going to be a massive offensive explosion for both sides. Start Hubbard or Ingram. I'm going Hubbard in this one. We'll talk about that as well. Taysom or Ferguson. I got to go Ferguson there because the Eagles do not stop the tight end. They have not stopped the tight end for like 2 years now. Josh Downs. I didn't get an update yet on Josh Downs. I know he's been limited he was added to the injury report yesterday, which has me concerned. We'll talk about that. Thoughts on offering this trade to Jefferson owner Gibbs and Ayuk for Jefferson? That's a lot. We don't know what it's going to look like with Josh Dobbs, but it's a home run move. I get it. Just push all your chips to the middle of the table because David Montgomery's coming back as well. Would you trade Keenan Allen and Ford for Ken Walker? Yes, I think I would do that. Need a win, 3 and 5 start. I have a 5 and 3 start, and I've lost 3 in a row. 5 and 0 start, I've lost 3 in a row. I have to win this week. Hockenson, Lockett. Need 2 of Hockenson, Lockett, and Kincaid. I'd have to go Hockenson and if Lockett plays, you got to go. I think you got to go. That's a tough matchup, actually. I'm definitely going Hockenson. I might have to lean Kincaid, actually. Lockett's banged up. 3 receivers there. It might be a little difficult. So I'm going to lean Kincaid because he's going to get the red zone looks. All right, first super chat of the day from Justin Livingston. Again, very generous, $5 super chat. Thank you, Justin. Thank you for all you do, and my pleasure. Leviston and Pant fantasy-wise, but he looks solid. CMC and Gibbs on bye. Can I trust Henderson? So that's one of the questions I'm asking myself, Justin, because I have Darrell Henderson in my 5 and 3 team. He's in my my running back 2 spot. I also have Chuba Hubbard and I have Devin Singletary. So I'm really weighing which guy to go with. I'm sort of leaning right now Singletary because Pierce is out. But with no Stafford, they are going to lean on the run. So I definitely think that Henderson, who's getting 60-40 advantage over Freeman, I think he's going to be relatively trustworthy. And he's going to get passes out of the backfield as well. Brett Rypien. It's going to be all the short stuff, so that's going to benefit Henderson. So I think he's for low-end running back too. I think it works. And thank you again for the super chat. Now, let's go through the injury report. So we're talking about Devin Singletary. So Dameon Pierce is out, all right? So that's definitely we learned that just about an hour ago that Dameon Pierce is not going to play. So an update, by the way. So Tyler Lockett is off the injury report. So whoever asked me about Tyler Lockett, he is playing. Not an easy matchup against the Ravens, though. So I still stand by what I said earlier. But Tyler Lockett, no injury designation. And as far as Singletary, yes, he's going to be the bell cow back this weekend. And I think let me just pull up the the matchups for this week. So as far as Singletary is concerned, he's got Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's kind of middle of the road defending the run. Historically, they've been solid. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. So I think Singletary, who can catch the ball out of the backfield, is a decent play. Like I said, I'm favoring him slightly over Darrell Henderson because I think the workload is going to be to his advantage. There's a lot of running back volatility as always, especially this week with the buys and stuff. I think that Singletary can do a decent enough job in a PPR league to be a low-end running back too. Someone dropped Ingram. Should I pick him up? Wow. Somebody dropped Evan Ingram. I mean, that's just criminal. Absolutely, you pick him up. I mean, there's no question you pick him up. I'm thinking the same because if I trade Keenan and Ford, still have A.J. Brown, Nico, and Puka for my wide receiver. Yeah, I'm thinking I agree with you on that one. Would you trade Rachaad White for Aaron Jones? Oh, God. Aaron Jones. I mean, this is not the week to be asking me Aaron Jones questions. He's the better player. There's no doubt about it. Rachaad White is a glorified third down back. I've been saying that all season, but he's getting a lot of targets. So if it's a PPR league, given that Jones still is really not over this hamstring injury, I almost would just hold on to Rachaad White because he's getting the work at least, whereas Jones is still splitting, barely getting, high single-digit touches, and he's still splitting work with A.J. Dillon. Do you like Carr over Stroud? That Javonte over Henderson call came in clutch last week. Yes. And Javonte over Henderson. Yes, that really worked out. Javonte Williams, there is no timeshare anymore. He's the guy. And he's looked better and better as the season's gone on, which makes sense because he's getting further and further from the injury. I do like Carr over Stroud. So Stroud's been struggling. And, listen, he's still a rookie quarterback. All right. As soon as the film got out on him, it was going to be adjustment time for Stroud. Defenses are now adjusting. He's got to adjust back. I mean, it's not a terrible matchup against Tampa Bay, but I do like Carr. I mean, the Saints offense really throwing the ball a lot, and the weapons, obviously, he's got the weapons advantage. He's got guys all over the place with Alvin Kamara back as well. I still think Chris Olave is a swell buy low. The air yards are there. All the advanced metrics are glowing when it comes to Chris Olave. So I would definitely try to buy low on him, but I do like Carr better. And to the moon. Wow. Yeah. We talked about this yesterday, Rain. I don't know if you were listening early in the show, but Kyle Pitts, I believe, is to the moon this week. I really think Kyle Pitts is absolutely to the moon. Because Taylor Heineke, no Drake London, by the way. So Drake London, that's another big one. He's been ruled out with his groin injury. So Kyle Pitts is going to be the number one target. And you now have a quarterback who's just going to rip it. He's going to rip it down the field. And I think Pitts is going to be the main beneficiary there. So he is absolutely to the moon for me. Going to be rough sledding this week with CMC on a bye and Monty out. Start two running backs, Foreman, Dylan Freeman, or Charbonnet. Oh, my God, Mark. I'd have to say the first two on the chance they fall into the end zone, and that is it. That's the only thing I'm saying about that. Pick one for Singletary, Roschon, Hunt. I have to be honest with you. I'm really getting tired of Roschon Johnson. Like, everybody, we all still are intrigued by him, but he's literally done nothing. Like, I get it. But Khalil Herbert's going to be back before you know it. So we just keep waiting. It's just not happening. I do like Hunt, though. I also like Singletary, but I would say Hunt a little bit more. Start two, Waddle, Evans, Allen. Definitely Waddle. Every Dolphin has to be started today. The key ones, obviously. Mostert, obviously Hill, Waddle, Tua Tagovailoa. And then I'm going to go Evans because Allen is going to draw Sauce Gardner. You do not want to go against Sauce Gardner. So Evans is the better play between the two of them. And listen, Evans has been, back to his touchdown ways. He's been getting a lot of targets. He's developed a nice rapport with Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield has exceeded expectations. I mean, let's face it. He's playing relatively well. Great on Roschon. I don't know if it was just me, but he didn't look like anything. Yeah, I mean, we keep waiting for him, right? And it's just, there's too many guys there. And like I said, Khalil Herbert was playing well before he got hurt, and he's going to be coming back. Hubbard or Aaron Jones? Oh, you got to still go Aaron Jones. All right, let's go through the rest of this injury report. We talked about Metcalf and Lockett, so you're playing them. Let's see. Damian Pierce and Robert Woods ruled out. I really thought, and I was completely wrong, and I apologize for Tank Dell last week. Just didn't happen. Like, I really thought he was set up for a big week, and it did not happen. I was completely wrong about that one. So no Damian Pierce. We talked about that. And here's the thing with Hubbard. So he's going to start, but apparently Miles Sanders, it's going to be a timeshare. So he's going to start, but it's going to be like a 50-50 split, which sucks because if you have Hubbard, he played well a couple of weeks ago, not so well last week. And, he deserves a longer look. And how the Miles Sanders thing blew up real quick. I mean, it didn't take long for that to come off the rails. And he was really good with the Eagles last year. So I don't know what happened. We should trade D-Hop for Kareem Hunt. Probably not. No, I don't think so because Will Levis there now. I think Hopkins is set to have a really big second half because he's got a quarterback that can get him the ball down the field. What do I feel like Hummer is going to hold out a little longer because of their season? I don't think it's Murray. I think it's the Cardinals wanting to tank their standing so they can get another quarterback for next year. And I think for Murray, the quicker he plays, the better. All right, so Emari Demercado is out. So, that's another. He got, 20 carries last week, Demercado. So now he is out this week. So, and listen, it's a tough matchup against the Browns. So you're not going to be playing. You weren't going to be playing any Cardinals runner unless James Conner was there anyway. So, it's just another guy not on the field. Justin Fields did throw today. He's doubtful. So it's looking like a month now he's going to be out. And listen, it is over. I'm sorry. It's over. They're going to draft Caleb Williams. All right. Or failing that, Drake May. It is over for Justin Fields with Chicago. All right. So Josh Palmer did not practice today with the knee. He's got tomorrow to get himself going for the game. It's not looking so great right now. So Josh Downs has a knee injury, questionable for the Panthers. 40 catches, 473 yards, 2 touchdowns. So this one really, to me, is about 50-50. All right. I think it's a later game too, right? A 4:00 game. So it's a prime matchup. So if Downs plays, if he's active, you're playing him. The Panthers haven't stopped anybody the entire year. And I'm really, really loving the way he's gelling, jiving with Gardner Minshew. Like Minshew is just slinging it all over the field. Turnovers be damned. And Josh Downs is benefiting. Send me an offer for my White and sending Aaron Jones and Rashee Rice. For Rachaad White, I would definitely do that trade to get Rashee Rice and Aaron Jones. As much as Aaron Jones has been testing my patience this year, I would do that. All right, so Matt LaFleur on Aaron Jones had a good week, great attitude, ready to cut him loose. So take that what you will, right? Ready to cut him loose. What does that mean? So instead of 8 carries, we're looking at 12. LaFleur he's feeling the heat now. He's got to be feeling the heat. Like this team is playing like shit. They are Jordan Love after an initial catching defenses by surprise. He has been god awful. He's been one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Christian Watson, hell of an athlete, just not, he's more of a one-trick pony, big play guy or nothing. We've seen that. That's why I told you not to draft him this year. I'm going to probably say the same thing next year too. I don't like guys that have that profile. Deebo Samuel, another one. I don't like those rapid, hot and cold guys. A.J. Brown, when he was with the Titans, was that guy as well. I never drafted him when he was with the Titans because A, was run-heavy offense, and B, he was not consistent. He has found that consistency with the Eagles, and I drafted him in the second round in my 7-1 team behind Amon-Ra St. Brown, which I took a lot of shit from at the draft, 8th overall. And how does that look now? All right, $1.99 super chat from Boozy. Thank you again, Boozy. I appreciate it. I love the name. Murray and Fields need QB against the worst pass D. Wow, yeah. So both of those guys not going to be playing. So you're saying you need a quarterback this week? Listen, Gardner Minshew is the pick. If Gardner Minshew is available, that's the guy you got to pick up because, again, the Panthers don't stop anybody. Colts have been having to throw it all over the place, 40, 50 times a game. So Boozy, that's the guy you got to pick up if he's available. And thank you again for the super chat. Leaving Evans, but Allen. Yeah, it doesn't matter about the ranking, Sean. It's going to be a tough day for the passing game. Miss you, bro. Hope you're doing good. Oh, thank you, Boozy. I'm doing really good. I don't know if you haven't been around, but all the streams that we've done this week, make sure you watch them. What about Jacoby for Kareem? I have a lot of wide receiver depth. I would do that. Yeah, just get out of Jacoby Myers now, because with the Aiden O'Connell starting, I don't want anything to do with this offense like altogether. Yeah, I did say Minshew yesterday. So Minshew would be a really good player, even regardless, especially in a super flex league. You're looking for a best bet for the picks? I'll go over the picks later, definitely. Debo made of glass and a disappointment. Yes, he can't stay healthy. Debo's my biggest disappointment. Yeah, I mean, just follow my lead next year on that, because I'm not going to draft him next year either. Bench Deontay for Tony Pollard is my flex. So you asked me about this yesterday. Listen, it's he never scores touchdowns, right? He just happened to score yesterday. You have to flush it, right? He had a good game, no doubt about it. George Pickens had a lot of targets, just didn't convert on them. Let's see what Pollard does. But it was literally his first touchdown in a year and a half. So you just got to flush that. Always here for, yes, thank you, Boozy. I appreciate that. Starting Jets defense this week. I'm starting the Chargers defense instead. Yeah, you're done. So I should still keep Murray and Fields. I would keep Murray over Fields. I think Murray is just a better player. All right, let's get back to the injuries. So Aaron Jones, I'm starting him, right? And luckily, I've been able to still win without him in my 7-1 league. It's just the rest of my team is really strong. I have Eckler. I'm just hoping the best is yet to come. Thoughts on my team winning it all? QB Burrow, running back Walker. That looks good to me. Gibbs, Javonte Williams, Khalil Herbert, Hunt, Charbonnet Brown, Ayuk, Moore. Your receivers are really everything looks good. Your receivers are a little top heavy, but if Rice continues to develop, that looks like a winning team for sure. Hey Jermaine, how are you? Raiders or Chiefs D this week? I can't do Chiefs D against Miami. And yes, playing the Giants, offensive line, they're getting guys back. But no Darren Waller. Darren Waller might be going on IR. So that's gone down as a busted pick, Darren Waller. QB, Dak, Kyler, Brees, Javonte Stevenson, Marquise Brown. I traded Kyler, Marquise Brown for Amon-Ra. Okay, I mean, you traded a lot. I mean, that's a lot for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, Kyren Williams is going to be coming back. He'll still be the bell cow guy. And I do like Marquise Brown the rest of the way, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is top 3-4 receiver this year with A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill. So not, you gave up a lot, but I see what you did there. Starting Taylor and Pacheco over Pollard and Swift. Taylor definitely against Carolina. Pacheco, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with those choices. I think Swift's going to have a decent game, and Rashee Rice is going to have a huge game. Listen, I say it every week. I'm completely sold on Rashee Rice. Will the Chase Young trade help the 49ers defense? Yeah, it should. Can't hurt it. Absolutely, because should help them. All right, so we talked about Justin Fields. Kevin O'Connell doesn't know if Justin Jefferson will be ready to practice next week. So reinforcements are coming for me on my 5-3 team. I have Jefferson, Connor, and Montgomery all on that team, slated hopefully to come back next week. Biggest running back, Aaron Jones. Yeah, I mean, Aaron Jones is up there. Tony Pollard, the cost to get Tony Pollard was more expensive, but he hasn't been good. Jock Tucker for Browns, Hopkins. Yeah, I mean, it works. The Ravens are scoring touchdowns at a really high clip, and that's hurt them there. Saquon has been limited all week with an ankle, but he's going to go. He's got money to make. So Puka Nacua, listed as questionable, limited all week so far. I haven't gotten any update on what he did today, but it sounds like he could be 50-50 as well. So, Puka sits out, Cooper Kupp, then we'll have even more targets funneled to him by Brett Rippon, but it's hard to get excited for any of these guys on this offense outside of Darrell Henderson. The Kyler Murray thing we talked about, just ridiculous that he's not going to be out there when he should. Joe Mixon questionable, but they say he's good to go. Josh Allen, no injury designation. That's good to know there. I think that's pretty much it in terms of the top guys that we need to worry about. No Curtis Samuel, so he's been ruled out. And we talked about Drake London. Deshaun Watson is starting, guys. So I hate talking about Deshaun Watson. the guy's a scumbag, first of all, and he's not playing well. I don't feel bad for him. Nobody feels bad for him, right? And you know what the thing? I've said this before too. And I'm sorry I repeat myself. Not getting into all of the nonsense that he did, but his girlfriend, who has stuck by him this whole time, she's a singer, is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, look her up. Like, she is like drop dead, stunning, gorgeous. And he's screwing around doing all this stuff. And he's got arguably one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life as his girlfriend. And she's stuck by him. And she's a singer. Like, so she's accomplished in her own right. And she's stuck by him, which, listen, every relationship, that's their own entity, whatever. But I mean, it's just crazy. It shows you what a scumbag he really is. Tony Pollard, he's not a bust yet, but he's getting close. Dotson, it depends on how we finish this. Dotson or Rice. I got to go Rice there, and then Dotson over Shakir. Would you rather have bench stash Wilson or Roshan? Jeff Wilson, 100%. Because, listen, we all know Raheem Mostert can't stay healthy. He's been banged up a few times already, and if he goes out, Jeff Wilson is a very capable back who can do it all. And in that offense, he would be really good. Would you recommend trying to trade Jacoby for Dotson? Yes. Trade Jacoby now, Justin. Even if he has a good game this week against the Giants, like, this offense is going to be really bad. And why they didn't trade Jimmy Garoppolo before the deadline is just a joke. It just shows you how dysfunctional. The Raiders and the Commanders, two of the worst run organizations in football. Do I like Pacheco over Swift? I think I do. But I do like Swift this week as well. He likes it. Yeah, he does like it for sure. Yeah, man, it's crazy. I mean, like I said, he had it all and he still has it. She stuck by him, but man, it's just crazy stuff. I just don't understand it. All right, let me pull up the schedule. All right, so we have the Sunday morning game, 9:30. And listen, the real shame of it all, a lot of people have services in church and whatnot on Sunday morning, so this is tough. This is a game that should be on Sunday Night Football, but and the fact that it's in Germany, we got 2 games in Germany now. We got England, we got all of these games now overseas. Like, nobody cares, right? They don't know what they're rooting for over there. It's all a money grab. And I get Roger Goodell. He is hired to make money for the owners, but like, it's too much. Enough with these 9:30 starts. I don't like it. I've been on record saying it's just ridiculous. It's an absolute joke that this game is not on Sunday Night Football, or at least 4:30. It's a great game. I think the Chiefs are a good bet. I think the line is 3. Miami did fly out a few days ahead of Kansas City to acclimate to the time difference. And also, we have daylight save. I don't know if they do that over there. We have the daylight savings time, turning back the clocks this weekend. We're going to gain an hour of sleep, but still, it messes with your circadian rhythm a little bit. So that's going to be an added challenge as well. I do like the Chiefs. I mean, they're coming off a dud. They're going to be motivated to get back on track. And also, Miami has not played well against winning teams this year. They got smashed by the Eagles. They basically every good team they played this year, they've been destroyed. So that concerns me going against the Chiefs. If you're a Miami Dolphins fan. I disagree. I don't think that Miami is going to blow them out. No, I think Kansas City is actually going to win this game. Achane, he's coming. He's getting close too, right? So, and also if you're a Raheem Mostert owner, pay attention to what's going on with Achane and his recovery. If it looks like he's coming back soon, then you might want to put out some feelers in terms of selling high on Raheem Mostert. All right, so Arizona is going to go with Clayton Tune. The only other thing I can think about is that maybe they don't want Kyler Murray coming back against the ferocious Myles Garrett pass rush that is the Cleveland Browns defense. Very strong defense. So that might have some validity to it. I was hoping he would come back this week because I'm trying to, get something for him. He's my 3rd quarterback in 1 league behind Howell and Lamar Jackson, and my other league, he's my backup. So it's probably going to be next week, the way it's looking like. Yeah, I mean, listen, the Chiefs' defense is pretty good, though. I disagree. I don't know. I think the Chiefs are going to win. You think Ford's 100% healthy? You think Hunt will keep? Hunt is always going to get the goal line work. AJ, Hollywood, and Rice for wide receiver, and Taylor Pacheco. That's pretty good, Boozy. And listen, I'm trying to get Hollywood Brown. I have a trade offer out. The owner hasn't looked at it yet. I'm really trying to get this guy before Kyler Murray comes back. So listen, if you need if you have the Cleveland Browns defense, this could be a really good matchup for them. All right. So as far as I forgot to talk about Will Levis. So anybody who watched the game, and I have to be honest with you, I had no interest. I said it yesterday. I had no interest in this game. I did watch to see what Will Levis was going to do, and listen, he threw the pick at the end of the game. Not going to kill him on that. He was slow processing reads and the defense. He took a lot of sacks, held the ball too long, but most young quarterbacks do that. He looked pretty good, not great, no touchdown passes, so it was a dud fantasy-wise. I said yesterday, he's not an automatic star for me in fantasy football. I don't care how many touchdowns he threw for his debut, right? Still a rookie quarterback. We're seeing that now with C.J. Stroud. His huge start has cooled off considerably. I think that Will Levis is going to be, a solid starter the rest of the way. He's going to lift the value of DeAndre Hopkins. If you want to buy low on DeAndre Hopkins, now I think would be the time to do so, right? He's going to be able to stretch the field much more than when he had Ryan Tannehill. Will Levis absolutely is better than Tannehill. Tannehill's cooked. There's no other way to look at it. But he played okay. It wasn't great, but you can see the zip he has on the ball. His release is quick. He's still processing things. That's why he took a lot of sacks. It'll speed up for him as he goes along. He needs more. He didn't pick up yards on the ground either. It was an uneven performance. Whereas with the Steelers, they just keep winning games, even though Kenny Pickett himself has a lot of shortcomings. Kenny Pickett is not the answer, but they are winning games. The defense is playing well. The two-headed attack for Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren actually worked yesterday, and Deontay Johnson finally got into the end zone after what seems like forever, and he remains a target monster for sure. Malik Willis, they'll just cut him loose. Nobody's going to pick him up either. Malik Willis should be just converted to a wide receiver or a running back. Honestly, he can't throw the football. Like he doesn't belong in the NFL as a quarterback. He just doesn't. So the other thing too, Sam Howell, they're going against New England, not an easy matchup. But the defensive trades that they made, getting rid of Chase Young and Montez Sweat, will result in the offense having to play catch up a lot. All right, they're gonna have to come from behind. It's not. They're gonna. The defense is not going to be able to keep them in games. And this is good, obviously, from a fantasy perspective, because now they're going to have to throw the ball in the second half, playing catch up and whatnot. So that's something that we need to take into consideration if you have any of the Commanders players. And I think Sam Howell, again, he's a top 12 quarterback right now. He is a top 12 quarterback who was not drafted in a lot of leagues. If Josh Downs does not play, who should I pick up the waiver wire position? It's hard to say. There's really not a lot available on the waiver wire right now. I would say Wan'Dale Robinson with Darren Waller out. Wan'Dale Robinson is somebody I would look at. If Josh Palmer doesn't play, Quentin Johnson, although I don't think he's really ready. So that I would say Wan'Dale Robinson, because Daniel Jones throws to him a lot. So in a PPR league, it wouldn't be bad. Justin Jefferson. So the window is now open for him to practice and return. I don't think he's going to play next week. Is he motivated with Josh Dobbs there? I don't know. It's hard to tell. I haven't heard anything about him. He hasn't spoken to the media. I guess we'll find out more this week. Aaron Jones upgrade to healthy. Yeah, I mean, listen, he was off the injury report last week. He's got the non-contact jersey nonsense. I mean, give me a break. Someone offered me David Montgomery for Breece Hall. Should I? Oh, God. No, absolutely not. No, Breece Hall is a top 5 running back, in my opinion. Breece Hall was a top 5 running back last year before he got hurt. No. Do not do that trade. No, not in a million years would I do that trade. No way. I mean, Breece Hall is legit. He is a game-breaking running back. Well, David Montgomery is a plotter. Now, Montgomery's going to get a lot of goal line carries. He's going to score touchdowns, but Breece Hall is in a different level athletically. Lions, I mean, it's, listen, Jared Goff took the Rams to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to say they're legit. They're a really well-coached team. Defense has stepped up this year. They have a prime wideout in Amon-Ra. They have arguably the best offensive line in football, and they have a two-headed attack at running back and an emerging star at tight end. They check a lot of boxes, right? This team's playing hard for their coach. Jared Goff, for all of his faults, like I said, he took the Rams to the Super Bowl, so he can do it. I think this team's legit. Who's offered Pollard for Mike Gibbs? Yeah, he's in the crisis point for sure. Oh man, that's tough. I think I would, because I think David Montgomery coming back is going to take work from Gibbs. I think I would do that. You're selling high on Gibbs and buying low on Pollard, which is how it works. This is what you're supposed to do in fantasy, like the stock market, right? Buy low and sell high. JSN's not going to pass Lockett. Lockett has a good thing going with Geno Smith around the red zone, and I think that's going to continue. But JSN is a legit talent. Now, after the season, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Lockett. Seahawks pretenders or contenders? I'm not buying the Seahawks. I think they're pretenders. They have a good running back, excellent receivers. Defense is okay. Offensive line's been better, but Geno Smith is what scares me. I don't trust Geno Smith at all. That's the problem I have with the Seahawks, is I just don't trust Geno Smith. That's it. That's what it comes down to. He's played better lately. We haven't gotten the word officially that Tune is starting, but he's been working with the top receivers all week, whereas Murray's been working with the practice team guys. So the coaches don't do that unless that's what the arrangement's going to be in the real game. D-Hop rest of the season, the arrow's pointing way up because, again, he was neutered with Ryan Tannehill and that he couldn't get down the field because there was no opportunity for him to get down the field with Ryan Tannehill, who just doesn't have the arm for that anymore. Now he's got a quarterback in Will Levis who can get the ball down the field and result in some big plays. It is lame, but I guess they're afraid about the Cleveland Brown defense, possibly getting hurt again. It's a weird situation because, the bits dropped down on the stream. Sorry about that. It's a weird situation with Murray. Are they planning to get rid of him? This is a cutthroat team when it comes to their quarterbacks. We saw this with Josh Rosen, right? They cut bait on him after 1 year, and it was the right decision. Are they at that same point again this time with Kyler Murray? Do they get Drake May? Do they get Caleb Williams? That's to me, reading the tea leaves, that's what it's looking like. The Jaguars, I think that the Jaguars are a little bit of an enigma. Trevor Lawrence has not progressed this year. He hasn't taken that expected step that I thought he would. I was really high on him coming into the year. I think that, the ability is there. He's got the ability. That's never in doubt. They have the offensive weapons, and the defense is not playing bad. They could win a game. I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl. I don't think they're a contender for the Super Bowl. Drafted Geno. I think he was going to continue. Yeah, I mean, it didn't cost a lot to draft Geno, so the loss to your team is not bad, but, he seems to have plateaued. Had 8 attempts last week. Who are we talking about? Are we talking about Aaron Jones again? He did have 8 attempts last week for sure, which was just pathetic. The whole thing with Aaron Jones doesn't make sense. Anyway, getting back to Kyler Murray, Pacheco. Yeah, they fell behind early. And I think Aaron Jones had 8 attempts as well. They fell behind early, and that was the problem. And what's really annoying, too, about Pacheco is when they go into the hurry up, it's Jerick McKinnon who's out there. They take Pacheco off the field. They also take him off the field on 3rd down, so that hurts them when they fall behind early. If Aaron Rodgers, this is weird. Aaron Rodgers just seems like he's determined to come back before the end of the season. I mean, Cam Akers, we saw it last year, but this is even pushing that. Akers got hurt early in the summer, and that added, some extra weeks. Listen, all the power to Aaron Rodgers if he can come back. I don't know what psychedelic shit he's taking. to speed up the process. But if he makes it back, great. And then we get to see Garrett Wilson. That was one of the biggest, disappointments of the season, not seeing what Garrett Wilson could do with Aaron Rodgers. Got offered Devontae Adams, Joe Mixon, then Julio Jones for A.J. Brown, Breece Hall, Rachaad White. That is an awful, awful trade. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, he wants A.J. Brown, Breece Hall, and Rachaad White. I like all three of those guys better than all three of those other guys. No, don't do that trade. That's actually an insulting offer. You would take that? No way. What am I missing here, guys? Devontae Adams, Mixon, and Julio for A.J. Brown, Breece Hall, and Rachaad White. I think Breece Hall is a million times better than Joe Mixon, and I think A.J. Brown is a million times better than Devontae Adams. No way. Yeah, keep A.J. Yeah, I figured you meant that. Oh, my God. No way. Would you drop Josh Palmer for Kincaid? Yes. Yes, I would. I mean, Kincaid is getting a lot of targets around the red zone, Fran, and he's got a lot of talent. How about the rookie tight ends this year? Like, that's been one of the storylines of the season. Sam Laporta is going to be a top 5 guy next year. When we talk about Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews as the top 2 guys, that next tier is now fronted by Sam Laporta, ahead of George Kittle, ahead of Dallas Goedert, right? So, TJ Hockenson, that could be a good debate next year. TJ Hockenson or Sam Laporta. People keep trying to fleece me with these. Yeah, dude, that's just tell them to get bent. Would you put 100 on Jets winning Super Bowl if you think Rodgers comes back? Man, the AFC is a landmine with Cincinnati. No, I wouldn't do that. And I'll tell you why. I don't like the coach. I don't think Robert Saleh is a good coach. I think he's a defensive coordinator wearing a coaching headset. All right, I'm not impressed by him. They should have lost that game last week to the Giants, which would have been an inexcusable loss against a team that wasn't even throwing the football at all. So I don't think he's a good enough coach to win a Super Bowl. I do not trust Robert Saleh. I would not take that bet some more. No way. Tell you what, the Baltimore Ravens look legit. And that was, they should have just done everything they could to get Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry. Like, they needed that running back. If they would have gotten one of those backs, I would have ran out and put money. And I'm not a really big betting guy. I would have ran out and put money on the Baltimore Ravens because the odds would have been good in that conference with the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Bengals. So, it's going to be, oh, you want to tour the room? Well, this is just one of my basement. Basically, I'm in my basement office. So that's why sometimes the stream gets a little fuzzy because, the basement's not the best quality. But I'd rather not give you the tour because my kids have destroyed it down here with all their stuff. So one day I will do that. Maybe the off season I'll do that. And during the off season, the channel's still going, guys. We're going to be doing live streams every week throughout the course of the off season, especially leading into the NFL draft. No doubt about it. Buck should have brought back Leonard Fournette. Rachaad White is trash as a runner, not as a receiver, but it works for him in a PPR league. I'm going to have to think about doing that. I know it blips a little bit depending on where I sit, Lex. So I might have to look into doing that going forward. And I did buy a gimbal. So that way when I'm out and about, I can just stream from wherever. Just throw it in the gimbal and that's it. So I'll probably be doing a lot of that in the off season where I'm out and about. Just wanted to chat with you guys. I'll pull up the gimbal and we'll just, have a conversation somewhere. Give Lamb and Stevenson, receive Achane and Metcalf. No, I wouldn't do that. Well, I mean, it's not awful, but we don't know what Achane's going to be when he comes back. Mostert's not going away. I think Lamb is the best player in the deal. Metcalf is not really scoring touchdowns. It's close, but I would keep Lamb. Singletary, I think, is a decent I think he's more of a flex. I don't even know if he's running back too, Ed, but this is a week where we can't pick and choose at the running back position. I like Eckler rest of the season. I know they're not running the ball, but he's getting a boatload of targets, whereas Tony Pollard is not getting any targets. And that's been a big shock, too, that Pollard is just not getting anything in the passing game. All right, guys, I think I'm going to jump out. Thanks for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. Football Friday was a lot of fun. Thank you for the super chats. This is always fun. So no stream tomorrow, but Sunday will be the busy day, the morning stream. And, of course, the wrap-up in the evening, all the instant injury updates throughout the course of the day. So make sure you tune in for that. Thank you for tuning in again. I appreciate you guys. Good luck this weekend. I think we're all going to need it with all these injuries. So, hopefully we get some good fortune for us this week. So take care, guys. Enjoy your Friday. We'll chat soon.